Hey, peeps, it's your girl K-Cee Deeva here. We are live. Just adjusting my camera just slightly here. I hope everyone is doing well. It is Thursday. It is the first Thursday in December. And I want to welcome all of you watching out there to Northwest Nightcap with the girl K-Cee Deeva. I got my peeps with me. We got a lot to talk about, some fun stuff to talk about, and a new fun segment that we're going to incorporate as well. So, a lot of times I get random questions from people, either DMs or, posts or whatever. I'm sure you all do too, my cast. And so I thought, you know what, it'd be kind of fun to let the people get to know us a little bit. So we're going to do this segment for the next 4 weeks called the Hot Seat, Diva's Hot Seat. And I'm going to kick it off. And basically, my peeps here can just ask me whatever they want to ask, no holds barred. And I'm gonna answer. I said a little devilish look, princess, and K-Cee as well. Anthony's my boy. He's not gonna do me like that, right, Ant?
Yeah. Is this gonna be like what is it called? Plead the fifth?
Yeah.
Plead the fifth. You can't plead the fifth on this one.
No pleading the fifth. No pleading the fifth.
No softball questions.
What'd you say?
No softball questions.
Right, no softball question. It's no holds barred. We're going in, and we'll do each one of us each week until we get the whole crew, and just let you know a little bit more about us and have some fun. Mm-hmm. All right. So I'm gonna just dive on in here. I want to say hey to all my peeps in Facebook land. Hey to all my peeps watching on YouTube as well. Be sure to subscribe to my YouTube channel if you haven't already. We do the show once a month. And, we just kind of recap all the entertainment stories that we found that are interesting and relevant. We give you our take and our opinion, whether you want it or not. So, hey, if you're tuning in, I guess you want it, right? All right, let's go kick it off. Introductions, of course, always ladies first. My homegirl, my sis, just a genuine spirit and just a really good friend of mine, the lovely Miss Princess Robin joining us. Princess?
Hey, everybody. Thanks for having me again. You know I love being with you on these shows, girl.
Yes, and Princess Robin is the host or hostess, I like to say, of a show called Traveler's Guide to Venus and Mars. And at the end of the show, we'll have her give you all of the who, what, where, when you can catch the show. You don't want to miss it. We have a lot of fun. K-Cee's been on. K-Cee produces the show as well. And Anthony's been on. I've been on, and we have a good time. She has some awesome topics talking about relationships, y'all. So go and catch that. Sitting next to her, hey, producer, musician, and
Pop blocker.
Princess Robin's husband, Princess Robin, and member of Confunction, one of my favorite R&B groups of all time, Mr.
Chase
Smith.
What's up?
Chase me through the night.
Right.
Chase me with the funky bass line. Come on.
Oh yeah.
I got that on 45 somewhere actually.
Yes, one of my dad's favorite songs actually. He used to wear that song out. And last but certainly not least, my homie, my friend, my BFF, Mr. Anthony Adams.
Oh, you are way too kind. You are way too kind. Thank you so much for having me. I'm here and I'm on time this time. Yes. Last time I ran into technical difficulties, but this time I was ready. I was like, let me get upstairs. I got up to my office 15 minutes before we went live with prepped and ready to go.
Right on. I love it. I love it. I love it. All right. So and at the end, so I also co-hosted a show with Anthony called Urban World Talk. We'll let him talk about that a little bit at the end, let you know where to catch that as well. All right, let's go ahead and dive in. Before we do, though, in true Princess Robin fashion, she does this on her show, each show, so I'm going to do it right here. If you have your glass, raise it so we can clink our neighbors. Clink, 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 clink.
Clink. What are we drinking on a nightcap tonight? What's tonight's drink special?
All right, so I am actually sipping on Princess. I gave in and did the Malibu rum and pineapple juice.
Great choice.
I was in the earlier. I didn't know what I was feeling like, how much effort I felt like putting into mixing a drink. So went ahead and did that. Quick plug for my bro, my baby bro. You can see this here. Where's the camera? There we go. He has a merch store, and he's got t-shirts with all these cool sayings on them. He's got mugs. He's got cozy sweatshirts for the wintertime. Hop on over to IG, So Consistent Apparel, and if you mention holiday, because the holidays are coming up, you get 30% off. So go and check it out. All right, what are you sipping on, Princess? And K-Cee over there, what you guys got going?
What do you think we got? We got this red wine. Night Crime. We're doing
right.
All right.
What are you sipping on?
What am I drinking?
Probably water.
and this is my third time ever drinking wine ever. I didn't drink wine until I met.
Really?
Ever since we've been married, but you know.
Okay.
I started drinking until I met her, so
I'm impressed. You can't go wrong with the red wine, right, Princess?
All right.
Uh-oh.
Get your brother. Get him. The first of the 19 crimes.
All right, Anthony, what are you drinking?
I am drinking on some delicious watermelon vodka. Now I'm drinking it straight. Usually I do it with like a Coke or something like that to mix it. But I'm out of soda, so I'm just gonna drink it with just pour it over ice. I ran out of. It's interesting because I rarely keep alcohol in my house except around the holiday time. So usually at Thanksgiving it'll start there, and then once Christmas comes around, after Christmas I don't buy anymore. So I try to make it last that long. But I'm upset because I ran out of my niece took the last of my. She's over 21. She took the last of my Jim Beam apple yesterday. So that's one of my favorites, though. But this is actually really good.
Okay.
If I actually the way how I like to drink it is my favorite drink is coconut vodka mixed with passion fruit juice and Sprite. My sister made that for me when I was in Jersey this summer, and it is delicious. And I've always wanted to make it again, but I can never find the coconut vodka out here, believe it or not.
All right, well, I'll have to hunt that down for you. Okay, now that we got all the lushness out of the way, let's jump into the topics. I'm gonna start off with I'll say the most recent story in the stories that we kind of looked at for the month. Nate Robinson. Everybody laughing.
I tried not to laugh. I just smiled. But all the other laughter made me laugh.
I didn't technically laugh. I put my lips in.
Look.
Wow. It's like that, K-Cee. So, we have talked about this. We actually talked about this a little bit on Urban Work Talk the other night. And there are varying opinions on people's reactions, to the knockout. And for those who aren't familiar, it was a Saturday, I think it was. It was a fight for charity, Nate Robinson against Jake Paul. And Nate Robinson, unfortunately, got knocked the blank out. So if you didn't see it, I'm sure YouTube or somewhere there's the footage. You didn't see the fight itself. And unfortunately, if you didn't see the fight itself, you might have seen memes, because there are thousands of memes, of course. I love memes. Shameful memes. I mean, just cruel memes. And, there were some celebrities that actually came to his defense. Rick Ross being one of them. I think Aisha Taylor, or not Aisha Curry. I'm saying her name wrong. And a few others, that came out to his defense and said, come on, y'all, like, he was trying to do a good thing. You're being too harsh. My stance is always like, hey, if you put yourself out there in the limelight, you kind of have to expect that it could go either way, especially if you get knocked out like he did. Okay, but Anthony, elaborate a little bit for the folks that maybe didn't see the fight and kind of what the social media is doing.
Okay, so first and foremost, so for those that don't know, as you said, Diva, this was a charity event. All the fights were for charity. Of course, the headlining fight was Roy Jones Jr. versus Iron Mike Tyson. Nate Robinson comes from the basketball world, and he decided to step in the ring with Jake Paul. Now, Jake Paul doesn't come from the boxing world neither. He's actually a YouTube influencer in the early days of YouTube. Him and his brother Logan have been, and they've all been sorts of controversy. Now, what happened is they got in the ring, they fought, and I will say this: Jake Paul is a little bit more experienced, and he has more professional fighting matches under his belt versus Nate. From what I've heard, Nate only had 2 months of training, and when Nate got in the ring, it showed. And Jake Paul just took advantage of it because.
What do you mean it showed? Give us an example.
Nate was just like throwing his hands everywhere. Nate looked like remember you know how you see girls in like third grade like fighting and wailing their arms like exactly. That's how he looked, and it's just like his training.
Anthony, how do you do it?
Get off me! Get off me! Get off me!
Get up off me!
Get off me! Get off me! Yeah, he I mean, his and you know what? I mean, listen. God bless Nate Robinson. I've met Nate. Real nice guy, humble guy. Seattle, a Washingtonian for life. Does a lot of work, does a lot of charity work and everything. A lot of good for the community. And like you said, a lot of celebrities did come to his defense. Yeah. But also, there were some people that said some very harsh things on Twitter. They were saying things like, Nate Paul, you can't, not Nate Paul, but Nate Robinson, you can't come back to Seattle after that loss. And here's the thing we have to remember. There is not a boxer or UFC fighter that none of us have laughed at or clowned when they got knocked out. It comes with the territory of getting in that ring. And if you get knocked out, it is what it is. Like I said, hats off to Nate Robinson for getting in that ring. He has more guts than I do. I'm not above, getting laughed at. If I ever am in a boxing ring and I get knocked out, I'm telling all three of y'all right now and everybody listening and watching, you have every right to go ahead and crack jokes on me, whatever.
You're not getting in a boxing ring.
I'm not above that. I'm not above that.
I want to see what K-Cee has to say because he had a lot of animation going on over there. K-Cee, what were you? Did you watch the fight?
I watched it after the fact, and the funniest part of the fight was Snoop Dogg commentating.
I heard
Snoop made it worse. Like, where's the law? But
I was thinking of Negro spirituals.
But here's the thing. It was a charity fight. But normally in an exhibition fight, you wear headgear, right? Mm-hmm. Mike Tyson and Roy Jones Jr., they are professional fighters. They've done that for years, right? Mm-hmm. Normally when you have, amateur or pro-am fighters, they normally would wear headgear for extra protection because anything can happen. Boxing is no joke. It's not like shooting basketball or anything like that. One good punch will take anybody out. One lucky punch will take anybody out. But Nate knew this. Keep in mind, and Anthony, you probably know this. Even there were stipulations for the fight with Roy Jones and Iron Mike. They had stipulations. Right. No shots. They had stipulations, right? So Nate came in thinking, "Oh, well, I've been training. I can do this. I'm a professional athlete." It's a totally different sport. And Mike Tyson said a famous line years ago. Everybody's got a plan until they get hit in the nose.
Yes. Ouch. Mm-hmm. Or bit in the ear.
So the main thing was, has he trained? Yes. But you training and then you actually being in the ring with someone that has the same goal as you, which is to take you out. Right. It's two different things. So exactly. I hate that he got knocked out, but at the same time, that's a part of the sport. Yeah. Especially when you don't lay down any ground rules, and even then, you don't have extra protection like headgear.
Yeah, that's crazy that to have essentially two amateurs, if you will, with no headgear. AC Soul says poor Nate, his trainer should be brought up on charges. He was not ready.
But realize that also if you like you have Olympic boxers, right? They're professional boxers. That they wear headgear.
Yeah.
So what makes Nate think he gonna get in there after 2 months of training?
That's interesting to me. 2 months of training. That's nothing. I took some boxing lessons a few years ago, just to try to I wanted to kind of build some strength, conditioning and such. Man, that was out of all the exercise sports and all the stuff I've done over the years of my lifetime, that was the hardest. Like, I hired a trainer and we're going around in the ring and I'm like, and I was back in a lot better shape than I am even now. And I'm like, oh my God, this is no joke.
Yeah.
So there's something to that. Princess, what I saw you laughing over there. What were your thoughts?
I'm probably the least familiar with all of this stuff. I mean, I watched the clip before you sent the thing. We watched because I was like, I don't know. We saw some where somebody was singing "Precious Lord," which like on him. Right? I was like, "What's this all about?" K-Cee pulled it up. We watched, the thing Anthony was showing, and he got, dude went down a couple of times. But what was killing me was Snoop. Snoop was just like, it was comedy because of Snoop. I have a lot of respect for the fact that it was a charity event. I did not know that. Hats off to him for doing something on behalf of charity. I'm sad. I hate boxing. I hate boxing because it just seems so barbaric to me. When the point is to punch somebody, and they, like it. I can't get into it, but I ain't gonna lie. I've laughed at things that have come out.
Yeah,
the Precious Lord thing took me down. I knocked out.
What do you guys think though? One of the things we talked about the other night was, like you saw these celebrities like Rick Ross and people coming saying, "Come on, guys, like you're being too hard on him." And you again, you put yourself out there, you're gonna get ridiculed, especially in this type of event. But also, I think you should show some kind of support. I mean, if you're gonna, make fun of them, maybe, also acknowledge the fact that, hey, again, not everybody can just even have the guts to step in the ring itself.
Question: was he talking mess before the fight? Because if he was, he deserved everything.
That I don't know. Anthony, do you know?
I don't think he was. Not that I remember.
He went in and said, he's doing this for all the ball players and all the, other athletes and stuff.
Oh, okay.
Don't speak for me, bro.
But that's not mess talking. If he went in there saying, "Oh yeah, I'm a,"
yeah,
if he was overconfident, and then got knocked out like that, then you should expect that there's gonna be some.
Okay, AC Soul says he made $600K for the fight, so he's good. Okay,
but I think they had to donate like a good half of that, and then of course they had to pay, like the Los Angeles. So somebody actually said him and Jake only walked away with like $600 after like paying all.
Really? Once they donated,
that's what I heard. Yeah, they only walked away with like $600.
You mean I got knocked out for $600?
You gotta pay that.
Pretty much.
Well. So here's what I've heard. I heard they made $6,000 each, but of course, they donated a majority of that to charity, and then of course you have to pay like the Los Angeles Boxing Committee, the licensing and stuff, and then of course taxes. And so I think somebody said after that they were each left with like $600.
I wouldn't do it.
No.
First of all, it's gonna cost more than that to get new teeth.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And whatever X-rays he's got to get, because he might knock a few things loose.
I mean, his knockout was a brutal knockout. It was a brutal.
Let me ask you this, K-Cee. Whose was more brutal, Nate Robinson's or Manny Pacquiao when he got knocked out in 2012?
You know what? Yeah, but you know what? I want to say Nate, because Manny was used to taking those blows.
Right.
He was totally out of his element, and and Nate was like trying to call his mama, and everybody like, come get this dude.
Oh, mama. Yeah, Lord. Okay, Lisa. Hi, Lisa. Shout out to my homegirl, Lisa Longden. No, she says no. He made 600,000, so it wasn't 6,000.
Okay.
It was 600,000. So
like I said,
okay,
that was just something I heard. But okay, cool. Right on.
yeah. Thanks for clearing that up, Lisa. Well, regardless, I don't care if he made $2. I don't think it was worth getting knocked out, but that's just me. But bless him for trying to do something for charity.
And Nate, you can always come back to Seattle. You can always come back to Seattle.
You always welcome back to Seattle in my book. Just don't get the boxing ring anymore, okay? Okay. Yes. Let's move on to some other topics here. Okay. So now I think if I remember correctly, last time we did Nightcap, we talked about Lisa Ray, and remember she had the incident on Cocktails with Queens, the talk show she does. With her sister Debra. Remember that whole rant she did?
Mm-hmm.
Well, she's back in the news again with regards to the same talk show she does. So this time, now I like Lisa Ray. I actually do. A lot of people don't like her. She's a little brass and crass and a little hard. I don't know if you all watch Ayanna. She does that show Fix My Life, and she has celebrities on sometimes. Well, Lisa Ray was just on with her mom and Lisa Ray's daughter. And it's actually quite interesting. If you didn't see it, look it up on demand. Watching them and watching Ayanna try to work with them as a family, you see exactly where Lisa Ray's kind of anger and bitterness and, it starts with the mom. It actually was really kind of sad to watch, but it gave you some insight as to why she's so hard. So anyway, if you have a chance, check that out. But Lisa Ray, this time, like I said, I like her, but she's talking about my girl Halle Berry. Now I like Halle Berry. Halle Berry don't talk about nobody. Halle Berry, does her thing. She does her acting. She does her award shows. She seems like a very down to earth, sweet kind of person. Lisa Ray on this Cocktails with Queens show, they were talking about celebrities and Halle Berry's name came up in various, relationships and escapades. And I'm gonna put it a little nicer than how Lisa Ray put it, but she basically said in so many words that the rumor mill in Hollywood is that Halle Berry is not good in bed. Now she used other choice words. If you want to look up the video, you can. But I just thought that was really tacky. Now I guess not surprising. Again, everyone knows Lisa Ray is that person that just says what she does and she shouldn't care. But of course, when people dragged her on social media about saying that, she started to backpedal. So, I'm gonna start with K-Cee on this because K-Cee, you're in the entertainment field and have been for a while. Not TV and movies per se, but you're in that field, and I'm sure the same types of rumors and things happen in the music biz as well. Yeah. What bothered me most about this is two things. One, being a Black woman, trashing another Black woman, that bothered me. But two, a fellow person in the entertainment industry that you're talking bad about as well. Whether it's a rumor or not, we don't know. You know how rumors are. I felt it was tacky. What are your thoughts on this?
Well, let me put out the disclaimer real quick because I have worked with Lisa Ray.
Okay.
And we actually did a stage play together, a show stage play called "You're Gonna Make Me Love Somebody Else." It was
wow.
And Bernadette Standard and Howard Hewitt and Michael Cooper and Michael Collier, comedian. It was a great cast, Lisa Ray is Lisa Ray. Let me say this. She is what you see is what you get. She will let you know she is from the south side of Chicago. That's her. Now, with that being said, what she said was wrong. In a lot of ways, but at the same time, that's part of that show. That show is about being messy.
Right.
That's what it is. They want to be like female shock jocks. They want to dish the mess. And And unfortunately, she thought that, you know, I can just be me and I'm good. And she wasn't, you know, expecting the backlash of that.
Right.
But at the end of the day, what was said, first of all, you don't know what's going on because, and it's like she tries to, I heard, you know, well, unless you know for sure, you know, because if somebody comes back and says, well, hey, I heard things about you.
Exactly.
You know,
yeah. And there's a lot that we've heard about her as well, you know.
I played for her wedding.
Yeah.
I actually played at her wedding. You know.
At her wedding? Oh, nice.
I played at her wedding with Howard. Yeah.
Oh, the Turks and Caicos wedding. What? Yeah, that was something.
But but she's good people.
Mm-hmm.
In this setting, that show is all about dirt. That's what that show is about. It's about.
Yeah.
I hate it because unfortunately, it's for Black women. You know, on other people of color. Yeah. And unfortunately, you don't see our white counterparts having those. It's like they give us a show like that.
Exactly.
To bring each other down. And that's I don't, you know, I'm not cool with it when it comes to that.
Mm-hmm.
And all of them was kind of egging her on.
Yeah. Right.
It works. Because although she said what she said, the other just as guilty as Sue because they egged her on. But what else did you hear? You know, but Hallie came back and said, hey, let me go ahead and put you in your place, little girl.
Yes.
Yeah. I backtrack and say, you know what? I apologize. You know, but at the same time, it was a little too late.
Right. It was already out there. And yes, yeah. So Hallie actually went on social media on her Twitter account and said, and I thought her response was very classy. She basically, and I'm paraphrasing, said, ask my man about that.
Yeah.
You know, and you know, and I just thought, very classy. She didn't get into, you know, a real clap back and the, you know, so on and so on. And that's the one thing I always admired about Halle Berry. She seemed very classy.
Yeah, she has hammers to do that because her image is her money.
Right.
So when she puts anything on Twitter, she got to run it by her publicist and, you know, got the right people that say, look, we understand you pissed off and we understand you want to, you know, say something about it.
Yeah.
This way.
I'm gonna get to a couple comments. Lisa Longman says she's a hater, talking about Lisa Ray, I'm assuming. I hate to say it. Like I said, I like Lisa as an actress. I don't even mind her boldness. I think it's cool to just be who you are. But sometimes when she says things like that, I'm like, she's gonna drag some folks before. A little bit of hateration there. It says, do you think she should have responded? Halle Berry. Do you think she should have responded at all? Or should she have just ignored it? Like, you know what? I'm not even going to waste my time.
Should Hallie have responded?
Yeah.
I respect Hallie for the way she responded. I mean, you know, I think people can be bold if they want to. And to a certain degree, I'm with you, Diva. I can appreciate someone who speaks their mind. I personally feel like I always prefer class over trash. I find myself having a hard time respecting or being entertained by trashing people. So, you know, it's not something I get into. The show is not something I get into.
Right.
And it's been fodder for us for 2 months, right? So anyway, the point being, I think I wish people would have more respect for others. And think about the consequences. I think if you're bold enough to say something, expect that something's going to be said back. And I think Hallie handled it well. She didn't engage, but she was like, "I heard you."
Yeah.
And, you know what I mean? And I think that was good and plenty, good enough.
Yeah, I agree. Anthony, thoughts? Do you think Hallie should have kept quiet and just, you know, ignored it? Do you think she should have responded? Well, and what do you think about Lisa Ray backpedaling? She had just said, "Hey, I stick by what I said. I owned it. I mean, you put it out there, so
Yeah. I mean, her backpedaling, she backpedaled real fast. I was like, can we, I even said this in our chat. I said, can we get Lisa Ray a contract for the Denver Broncos? Because their quarterback can't even backpedal that fast. And the Denver Broncos are currently out of quarterbacks right now due to COVID. So, but I mean, you know what? I'll say this. You know, K-Cee, you've met Lisa. I've met Hallie. And I'll tell you this right now. The classiness that you see on Twitter and on TV, and that's what you get in real life. And you know what? I thought it was great the way she responded. I think she would have been fine not responding. Lisa Ray, I like your Lisa Ray a lot. I think she's great. I mean, I like the fact that you're being your authentic self, and like K-Cee said, she's from the South Side of Chicago, so you know they people from the rough parts of town. They always gonna keep it real, but there comes a time where you have to learn to just or don't say that. But it's just like I think it was Robin or K-Cee said, that show is it's meant to be trashy. You know, they're meant to be shock jocks. Well, what happens with shock jocks? We get tired of them after a while. Right. You know, they wear out their welcome really fast. So if that's going to be Lisa Ray, then Lisa's going to learn. She's going to wear out her welcome real fast with us, and we're just going to change the channel and find something else to watch. I appreciate and I respect the boldness and everything. But I think it was one of those things where it's like, you know, you could have just been like, you know what, I'm not going to say, even though I've heard this about this person, it's really not cool to put that out there because I don't want that coming back on me.
Exactly. And I want to go back to what K-Cee said earlier about, you know, the whole point of you've got 4 Black women, you know, in the industry, and, you know, let's not drag each other down. You know, I get the wanting to be the shock jock, you know, queens and all that, but there's so many stories out there. I just felt like that one was a little too personal and too hurtful.
Well, the way too that she threw it out there, right? Yeah. Nobody was talking about Halle Berry. Right. Saw something else, and then she put it out there like a descriptor for bad things. Yeah. And it was like you didn't even have to do that.
She just mentioned Halle, but she, you know.
Well, she did just mention Halle, and other people were talking, but somebody's like, circle back to that. What did you mean when you said Halle Berry? What was that all about? So then she elaborated, but she only just said something like, you know, and they were doing the Halle Berry. Like, what does that mean? We provoked it.
You know, I felt like it was almost like they were almost as shocked as I was. Because, again, people don't talk about Halle Berry like that. You know what I mean? It's like she's just not really in any kind of mess or controversy. And, you know, just like Anthony said, she seems very down to earth and sweet. And, you know, she does her business. She does her red carpet stuff. She's got a daughter. So it seems like they're kind of shocked.
Dorothy Dandridge at this point. You know, you have to look at it like that. She's our Dorothy Dandridge. You know.
Yes.
When it comes to that.
Yes. Dorothy Dandridge. Yes.
I mean, she made history. And things like that. So
Well, the one thing I want to add is I think Lisa Ray, the reason why she said that also was because of, from what I heard, it was the role of how Halle was in the love scene with Monsters Ball.
No, that was her backpedaling. And so that's how she tried to clean it up. Yeah. So and part of the backpedaling was when people started getting on her, like, whoa, why are you dragging Halle like this? She said, oh, no, what I meant was, you know, after that role in Monsters Ball, people were talking about it. So if you haven't seen Monsters Ball, there's a very explicit sex scene between her and Billy Bob Thornton. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Get your brother. Get him.
Oscar.
Wait, you made my. I'm sorry. Okay, right.
It didn't come out.
Don't nobody clink on it. Nobody.
I'm gonna create my own name.
That's all you got, bro.
Put it down, Anthony.
I can't.
Oh my gosh. Okay. I just love
all I'm gonna say is this: when that movie came out and I watched it and that scene came out, all I remember was this hand just coming over my face like this. It was my mom's hand trying to block me from seeing it. Yeah. That's all I remember.
I forgot M. Poor M. M is a baby of our group. So how old were you when that movie came out?
I had just turned 16.
Okay.
I had just turned, and this hand just comes over my face. I'm like, what are you doing?
I can't see.
My mom's like, no, nope. I was like, Ma. She's like, no.
Yeah.
James Gasaway says, I love that scene in Monster Ball. I'm sure you do. I'm sure a lot of people did. I'm sure a lot of people
James,
did.
don't clink your brother here.
Hey.
Right.
Somebody.
Yeah.
Okay. We'll leave Hallie and Lisa Ray alone.
Okay.
Good conversation. I knew that one was going to be interesting.
Yeah.
Okay, let's move on. Let's talk about some sexy people.
Mm.
Now, I'm assuming that you three have seen J-Lo's new album cover.
Yeah.
I don't know about the watching peeps out there, but if you have not, I suggest you go just type in J-Lo's new album cover. It popped up in my news feed, because I follow her on like IG and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm one of those scrollers. I scroll pretty fast through my, there's so much coming at me. And I scrolled up and I was like, I had to scroll back down because she is full on nude on the front of her album cover.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the woman is 53, I think, if I remember correctly, and she looks amazing. I mean, flawless, amazing, body, amazing. Of course, people were just like shocked, like, wow, we've seen her do. So she got some racy outfits. Remember the Grammys outfit back when she was with P. Diddy?
Yeah.
Or was he Puffy back then? Or I don't know which name he was back then, but one of those.
Pop, Sugar Daddy.
She had the green outfit that was very low cut, and that was a big deal. And we've seen her in some racy outfit before, but I think this tops everything because she's completely nude. I think it's still I think it's a classy, she's to the side, you see her backside, you see a little side boob, but not too much, and she said, hey, I'm 53, I'm showing this off. Of course, then you have the trolls who were saying, things like, but she's a mom, she's got kids, so on, so on. Princess, we'll start with you. What are your thoughts on that?
I think she's an entertainer, and so the whole mom and entertainer don't necessarily you separate these roles, right? By necessity. I agree with you. I think it was tastefully done. It definitely got my attention. I couldn't have done it, but I like, I'll tell you the two things I thought when I saw the picture. Well, the three things I was like, damn, she has nothing on but a ring, right? That was number one. Number two, I was like, her haircut is fly.
It is. I love it.
Like, I ain't mad at you, nigga.
Right.
You remember that from last month? I ain't mad at you because you clearly work out. I hats off, clink your neck, J-Lo, because you definitely take care of
J-Lo.
Alex Rodriguez is in heaven right now.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, she
men who
J-Lo, the movie Hustlers, she
the Super Bowl.
I remember that she and Alex went to a strip club together, and so she could study the role and watch him, learn how to do the pole dance and all that. I mean, J-Lo is on fire, and I'm sure a lot of dudes are jealous of Alex right now. Anthony, were you over there cheesing? What was your initial thoughts of seeing this?
Well, when I first, honestly. Okay, so on his mom's opinion, I'm like, okay, another celebrity posing nude. Okay, we see that almost every day now. But it was classy, it was tasteful. It could have actually been one of those I'd rather go naked than wear fur type ads at first, if you look at it, with how it looks. And it's the third time and then of course I'm like, I couldn't pull that off. I'm like, if I try some mess like that, they shut down my Instagram right away. They'd be like, nope, flag, you are blocked, you are done. Nobody wants to see my gut and everything. So. But what though? It's like it got people's attention. It did what it was supposed to do. It got people talking. So hats off to her for that. She looks incredible. there's a lot of 20-somethings that hope they look that good when they hit that age. So
there's a lot of 20-somethings that hope they look that good now.
Yes.
That's what I'm saying. There's 20-year-olds that don't look that good. So James says 50 is the new 20. Right on, James.
Yeah.
Right on, right on. Yes, we're gonna clink on that. Yes, indeed. Okay, so K-Cee, same question for you. I'm just want to throw in there. She's not the first. I mean, hers is an album cover, but she's not the first celebrity to go nude. In fact, remember Kim Kardashian supposedly broke the internet? Was it, I think, 3 or 4 years ago? Broke the internet, whatever that means, with showing her backside that's, supposed to be so famous and whatever. K-Cee, same question, because Kim Kardashian's a mom now. I mean, her kids are going to look that up one day, and you think it's a big deal, or is it just like, hey, it comes with the territory, she's an entertainer, people need to get over it?
It comes with the territory, and actually, Robin and I, we were talking about this the other day, because there's a double standard when it comes to male entertainers and female entertainers. And with female entertainers, there's always a sexual, how should we say it, undertone to everything. Like you said, a guy could be out there. He could be on the front of his car with a full built belly out, like this, and his record's still gonna sell, right?
Right.
But the standard for women is you got to be sexy. You got to, because sometimes it gets to a point where that becomes more important than the actual record. Is the visual part of it. I mean, and it's part of the business. It is what it is. I mean, right. I deal with female artists all the time, and that's part of the business that unfortunately that they have to deal with.
Yeah.
But if you recall, back in the day, the Ohio Players and all, a lot of the funk bands, that's how the album covers were.
That's a good point. You're absolutely right. Yeah.
Some of the old Ohio Players, the fire. She was with a fire hose around her and all this kind of stuff, and that was just part of selling records back, even rock records back in the 80s. That was just part of the album cover. So nothing new. It's just the fact that it's her doing it. She's got and we're living in the world of social media now, and so she's got a bigger machine that's pushing it. To where it's like, it's a shocking thing. No, it's just nothing new, but I will agree. For her to do it, and she's at 50, where back in the day, when we were kids, 50, you was a grandma,
right?
Nowadays,
you seem ancient.
Back when we were, you had a muumuu on,
right? Oh my goodness! Not a muumuu.
Get up in the house before I beat you.
With the flowers and
flower house coming on. Making bacon and all that kind of stuff. So,
right.
With that cotton nightgown.
Oh no! Oh my goodness! Flannel
and a shower cap on, and with rollers in your hair. Talking about, get off my couch.
Rollers. All right. Lisa says, I agree with you. Talking to K-Cee, it's part of the business. Yeah, absolutely, Lisa. Definitely part of the business. I think, come on, people, we're about to be in 2021. Get over it. Again, the woman looks phenomenal, and show it off. I'm like, you got it, flaunt it. And people just kind of need to get over it. So
my only concern is that you're gonna have some 200 pluses gonna try to do that same pose.
Okay, so you just made me think of a question. So now let's talk about Lizzo. She hasn't really been in the media lately. But remember when Lizzo went to the Lakers game? I think it was. She had the thong dress thing on, and she got mad flack about it. And
I applaud Lizzo, because Lizzo, her thing is, listen, my size is beautiful too.
Right.
So I'd be okay with it on an album cover, but I'm down the stand in the Lakers game. You know what I'm saying? It's like just the occasion.
I mean, there were kids there.
I don't know. I mean, because I feel like again, just like all these other stars have their, Lady Gaga has her outrageous outfits. She's shown she's worn thong outfits and stuff before. But of course, she's half the size of Lizzo, so they're not going to give her the same flack that they're going to give, like K-Cee said, somebody that's 200 plus or bigger. Doing that. At a game, I will say, you got children there. Yeah. So
I would say that no matter what your size is.
Yeah.
Like cover up, you're at a basketball game. That's all.
It doesn't matter. And I'm going to tell you why.
Why?
Nobody said anything when J-Lo and Shakira performed at the Super Bowl.
Good point.
Well, let me jump in here. That was technically a performance. Lizzo was there just to enjoy the game.
I know, but what I'm saying is this. You have kids watching the Super Bowl. And they knew what they were going to be wearing, what their performance was going to be. Just like, a lot of performers, they know, first of all, the main ones that buy records are kids.
Are kids, yeah.
So at the end of the day, it's part of the business. So, and Lizzo is an entertainer. Her thing was, hey, I'm doing this because it's a shop thing. I'm trying to get my, my Twitter feed up. I'm trying to get my, my likes up and all this stuff. And as an entertainer, you're supposed to always, a lot of times, push the envelope.
Yeah.
That's what they expect.
That one extra. Yeah, no, okay, that's a good point. That's a good point. But now that I'm thinking back though, and Anthony, you said no one said anything about the performance. Actually, there were they call them soccer mom types that were actually complaining about their performance, if I remember correctly. Yeah, and I remember thinking, you're just jealous because you can't dance and move and you don't look like that.
Well, I'll do you one better. There was a pastor that was actually trying to sue the NFL over that.
What?
Yeah, he was trying to sue the NFL. Yeah, he was. Yeah.
Wow. He was trying to get his 15 seconds of fame.
Yeah.
Because who did not care about that? Pepsi.
Exactly.
Right. Exactly.
They were buying.
Okay, well, if you haven't seen the album cover out there, if you're watching, go check it out. I think she looks amazing. J-Lo, I applaud her, and I can't wait to see what some videos from this album because I'm kind of curious. Will she push the envelope in the videos too? We'll have to see. All right, keeping in line with sexy people. Real quick before we move on to our hot seats segment, Michael B. Jordan was named People's Sexiest Man Alive for 2020. I think Michael B. Jordan is very sexy, very cute. I just don't know if I feel like he's the sexiest man alive. That's a tall order anyway. Sexiest man alive. I was trying to think back to 2020, but I couldn't really think of anyone that I put in that category. I just couldn't. And K-Cee said something before.
Nobody been out in 2020. We ain't seen nobody in 2020.
Everybody's been covered up in masks. We don't know. But earlier that oh no, now I lost my train of thought again.
Michael B. Jordan.
Michael B. Jordan. Somebody asked me earlier, who would I pick? And I was like, I just don't know. I sat there and racked my brain when I saw that story a few weeks ago, and I was like, there's no one that sticks out to me this year. I mean, congrats for him. He says, in an article that the women in his family are very proud of him, and he's excited and he feels honored and humbled by it. I think for him, remember he was a kid actor. He was in a lot of black shows and stuff, and maybe that's it for me. Yes, I think he's hot, he looks good, but then Sexiest Man Alive, I'm like, I remember him kind of as a kid growing up.
When he was on The Wire.
Yeah, he was on The Wire, exactly. Princess, anybody come to mind for you, 2020?
Yeah.
And you can't say K-Cee.
Sexiest man alive.
He is famous.
But I got no problems with Michael B. Jordan as pick. I mean, the whole notion of sexiest man alive. I know when I object, But normally I don't have anybody that I point to and go, now that's the one of the year. And but when it's proposed, I'm like, yeah, that one's good. That one's good. And that's how I feel.
Okay. Lisa says, I'm still looking for his sexy. Wow, Lisa.
Go watch both of the Creed movies and Black Panther.
Yeah, no. We'll say in Creed, that's the movie that comes to mind.
That was when he crossed over to adulthood for me.
Creed, yeah, I can see that. I can see that. Okay, I can see that. Absolutely, Creed, both Creed 1, Creed 2.
Creed 2 is my favorite.
Michael B. Jordan. We'll see who comes up next year. We'll see what's going on. Okay, so as promised in the beginning, trying something new. We're going to have this little fun segment. I'm calling it Diva's Hot Seat. And of course, I will go first today. What I've told my cast and crew is that they can ask me any questions they want to. You out there can put your questions in the comments as well, and I will answer them. This is just a way for you to get to know us. We've got some new followers and viewers, and so it's probably become a fun way to get to know us. And then next week we'll have someone else in the hot seat. I think I'm gonna put Anthony in the hot seat next week. Not next week. I'm sorry. Next month. Next month is gonna be Anthony. It's gonna be Anthony's turn.
Okay. That gives me time to practice all my answers like I am on the stand at a trial. Okay.
All right. So, you know what? I'm just gonna say you guys fire away, and we have about 5 minutes. So
ladies first.
Go.
Ladies first.
Okay. What is the top thing on your wish list for a guy? What are you most attracted to in a man?
For a guy, top of the list. Ooh. Okay. Are we talking about overall, physically, or just like
top thing?
Top thing, number one.
You notice and you go, I'm attracted to this person. Why?
Okay, before I actually meet him, if I notice. Okay, if I'm looking at someone, I'm a huge teeth person. I like nice, pretty teeth and a nice smile. So he flashes that smile at me, I just melt.
All right.
Really? Are you serious right now?
I'm serious. I love the smile.
Oh, okay. You know what I thought you were gonna say?
Oh God!
Oh my goodness!
Somebody get your brother.
Now I will say that comes a little later, but that comes after we get a little closer, But if I'm looking across the room and he flashes a nice smile, he's gonna reel me in at least to get a little closer look.
All right. Let's see. I know you've worked in entertainments and you've interviewed a lot of celebrities. Who was the most down-to-earth celebrity that you met that you felt like, you know what? I can go out and have a drink with this person. I go to dinner with this person. We could just talk and we would be BFFs, me and this person, guy or girl.
Oh, wow. Okay. Let me think. I would say Susan Taylor. Susan Taylor is actually, she's the former editor of Essence Magazine.
Okay.
I was really blessed and had an opportunity to do some public relations. She was coming to Seattle to do a local event, and I did some media relations and public relations and got to know her and her staff. And she was just not only just physically beautiful, but her spirit was just amazing. And just such an inspiration when I think about somebody that I would, look at and be like, wow, that's who I want to be like when I grow up, and I was very young, in my career when I met her, and we clicked, we just clicked, and she was definitely someone. She was only in town for like a day and a half, so we didn't really get to like hang out and then that type of way. But we had dinner and the whole thing, and she's just a down to earth, cool person. She was one of my favorite people to meet.
Nice.
It's you, babe.
K-Cee. I'm a little nervous now.
Well, I can't ask the question that I ran by Robin last night, so. Right, no, we can't do this. But how about this? One of your in your opinion, one of your most embarrassing moments?
Oh gosh. One of my most embarrassing moments. Okay. I'm gonna use a career example again because this was probably to date my most embarrassing moment. So when I was in public relations for a job many years ago, I wrote a lot of press releases, and we're cranking 3, 4, 5 out a day. My boss came to me. We had to put something out right away. The headline, I don't remember exactly what it was, but it was something, public, blah blah blah. So I bang it out, whatever. I do my read over 3, 4 times. Usually I have somebody else look it over just to make sure, but didn't have time. Was like, I'm good. I don't need anybody looking this over. I'm gonna send it out. Boom, hit send. And this actually went to a lot of very important people. Very important people. And I get a call from a friend of mine. She's like, that press release you just sent out, take a look at the headline. And I was like, oh God, what's wrong with it? I looked at it like 5 times. Just take a look. So I pull it up. I forgot the L in public. So
that's pretty important.
And these went to like very high up in figures, let's say.
That's pretty important.
I remember that moment very vividly. I got up and I hung up on my friend. I walked to my boss's office and I said, so I just sent out the press release and here's what happened. I'm like ready to pack up, get a box, start packing up my things, and she literally fell out laughing, like tears and everything. And she's like, you'd be surprised all the mistakes I've made in my lifetime. She's like, it's no big deal. She's like, half the time people don't even read those things anyway. They probably won't even notice. So luckily I didn't get any calls from anybody that was important, but of course my friends had a field day with it because they all noticed. So
you know what? That might have been the one announcement everybody read because they were like, "Pay attention. Let me see what this is all about." So that was a very good strategy.
Exactly. Yeah. So anyway, all right, we're just about out of time. We got a couple minutes left, and I thank you guys. That was a lot of fun. So next month, Anthony, just be ready. We coming for you. But this has been fun. It's always fun. I want to thank all my peeps out there that are watching, that commented. Thank you so much. Be sure to subscribe to my YouTube channel as well. All the videos that you see here, I put on the YouTube channel. So if you didn't, you come in halfway or didn't get to see the whole thing, you go watch it then. Be sure to like, comment, share it out. I appreciate it. I want to thank my cast and crew, Miss Princess Robin, royalty herself. Tell us about Traveler's Guide and where we can catch that wonderful show of yours.
Absolutely. Thank you. You can find Traveler's Guide to Venus and Mars with Princess Robin, that's the full name of it, on 8 major podcast platforms, namely Apple Podcasts, Anchor, Spotify, Google Podcasts, you name it. Anchor.fm/princess-robin-presents takes you to all the amazing episodes. And
right on. Yeah.
Man, Mr. Princess Robin.
Mr. Princess Robin. K-Cee, what's going on in your world?
A few things. Just finished working on music for a new movie that's coming out next year called Jasir. And actually, Robin is in the movie as also.
Yeah, right on.
Smoking cigarettes and
like this.
30 beers.
No.
Yeah, she's in the drip joint scene, and
I can't wait.
Yeah, but it's called it's directed and produced by a good friend of mine here, and it's starring
Lorraine
Bracco, who was in Sopranos and Good.
Oh yeah.
Okay. So yes.
Wow.
So and just finished the music for that. I think we're going to be working on the score for it as well. I just got the news about that today, so really excited about that. So
right on.
hopefully Oscar.
Yes. We're gonna put that out there right now.
Yes.
And then,
All right.
a couple things with Howard Hewitt coming up, and a few things with Confunction that we're working on.
Okay.
COVID situation. So stay tuned. And
Very cool.
everybody stay safe.
Yes. And Anthony Adams, let's talk about Urban World Talk, and let's talk about all your cool playlists that you have on Apple Music.
Yes. Okay. So first, let's take care of business first, and we'll get to the fun part. Urban World Talk is a show that you and I are both on Tuesdays, every Tuesday at 7:30 p.m. Pacific time on Facebook Live with Terry Youngman, who is the moderator of the show. You can catch that. You can catch that there. Playlists. Yes, I am on Apple Music. I'm very active on there, and I create playlists. And actually, as soon as this show gets done, I am going to be releasing the urban Christmas playlist I've put together on all platforms. So on Facebook,
Nice.
a link on my Instagram. If you have Apple Music, you can get it right there and add it and play it. It's got music from Drew Hill, Usher,
Woo!
Monica, Kelly Rowland, Nephew Tommy, his Christmas song is on there. CeeLo is on there. The list goes on, and I'm always updating that thing. So look for it tonight.
All right. I just saw CeeLo. I haven't seen CeeLo in a while. I just saw him on the Soul Train Awards.
Yeah.
I like that song. He was jamming. I'm like, okay, go ahead, CeeLo.
Okay.
I'm glad he's back out doing some stuff. All right. Well, thank you, Peeps, for tuning in again. And you can hit me up anytime right here on Facebook. K-Cee Deeva, K-CEEDEEVA. Deeva's a little different than we normally see it. K-Cee Deeva shows on YouTube. That's where you can subscribe to my channel. And then next Thursday, I will be 7:30 p.m. with Dish with Diva. That's where I do one-on-one interviews with various types of peeps, entrepreneurs, musicians, entertainers, you name it. Kid Sensation is going to be on next week.
Oh,
He has a new project out, and so if you're a Kid Sensations fan, be sure to check us out. I'll do some promotion throughout the week as well. But make sure to talk to him and find out what he's up to as of late. So it's going to be a fun show. All right, I love you guys.
Guy in the limo with Sir Mix-a-Lot in the Black Benz limo in the Home Away from Home, right? Rolling down Broadway.
Yes. Kid
Okay,
Sensation.
make sure.
Yep.
Cool. Make sure.
That the one and only.
Sure.
All right. Thank you, Princess. Thank you, K-Cee. Thank you, Anthony. I love you all. Stay safe out there, peeps. Thanks for tuning in. And we'll see you again pretty soon. All right.
Happy holidays.
Cheers.
Clinking it.
Yeah, for glass,
Hey.
clinking.
Happy holidays, everybody.
Happy holidays.